Hello everyone, my name's Jack and I am the creator and presenter on a YouTube channel called WightWanderer, which usually revolves around the history of the Isle of Wight and its railways. Today though, I am not on the island. In fact, I'm nowhere near because I've been commandeered for the weekend by the Isle of Wight Steam Railway, who have very kindly sent me up north to Norfolk. I am of course here at the Mid Norfolk Railway, and this weekend is their Steam Gala. The Mid Norfolk Railway is a heritage line running 11 miles through the picturesque countryside of East Anglia, operating various diesel and steam services throughout the year, from its base here at Dereham to its southernmost reach at Windham Abbey. This weekend for the gala, no less than 4 steam locomotives are operational, including standard 4MT 8078, SR Bullied 303 Squadron in the guise of scrapped classmate Royal Engineer Corps, and SRU Class 31806 visiting from the Swanage Railway. However, there is a particular reason for my presence here today, and one locomotive in particular. As it happens then, I'm not the only island resident currently here on holiday, because the Isle of Wight Steam Railway's very own Ivatt tank 41313 is also visiting the railway, stretching her legs on the mainland route. 313 has been doing the rounds a fair bit this year already, visiting the Swanage Railway in March before travelling to the Spa Valley Railway's Spring Gala. What then is she doing over here? Well, her visit is mainly down to networking and maintaining public interest. See, every heritage railway has their own array of operational stock. And on the Isle of Wight Steam Railway, we are very lucky to have such a unique collection of locomotives, many of which tell the story of the island's railway history. The Steam Railway has 2 Ivats, 41313 and 41298, and these two share a connection with our railway history, though it is more of a hypothetical link. See, the Ivatt 2MTs at one point were rumoured to be the replacement for the ageing Adams 02s, which kept our island's railway network running until the end of 1966. Obviously, this replacement didn't happen. Instead, electrification and ex-standard stock tube trains would become the reality. But you know us railway nerds, we certainly do love a what-if scenario. Today though, the Ivats prove to be a useful asset to the Isle of Wight Steam Railway, being more powerful and less fragile than the older engines on site, as well as proving to have better traction in adverse weather conditions. Of course, on the Isle of Wight, the Ivats tend to be used for the winter services, and then once the sun comes out in the summer, the more popular and iconic locomotives also come out. And so 41313 would usually be laid up in the yard, but instead this year she's been hired out to other heritage railways, and so far it's been very successful. Indeed it has been, because 41313 was very much a mainland locomotive during her service life. And so she is no stranger to the heavier Mark I carriage stock on other heritage lines. In that respect then, she is the perfect locomotive to undertake the Isle of Wight Steam Railway's missionary work. See, enabling the Ivatt to visit other preserved lines for their galas is the perfect scenario, because it doesn't just attract new and excited rail fans to the galas themselves, but it also promotes the Isle of Wight Steam Railway in destinations around the UK. On top of this, it also benefits the locomotive itself. The Ivats may be majorly beneficial to our heritage line, but the Isle of Wight's network in general, at least historically, always favoured smaller, pluckier tank engines, which proved more versatile on the tight, narrow branch lines. On longer and straighter heritage routes on the mainland then, 41313 can clear her throat and put on a bit of a show.
Anyway, I've thoroughly enjoyed this trip to the Mid Norfolk Railway. It's been a great experience, and also fantastic to see the Ivatt get to stretch her legs a little bit. Thank you to the Isle of Wight Steam Railway for sending me up here. It's very, very kind of them to do so. But I've now got to go and get a less exciting train back down to the Isle of Wight. So I'll see you there. I'm here then at Fishbourne Car Ferry Terminal waiting for our locomotive to return, hopefully on the next ferry. After her spring break away, it'll be nice to see her back on the island.
For anyone wondering how locomotives are transported to and from the island, this bit is for you. Though a little tight, luckily our locomotive fits on the Whitelink ferry. And indeed the Steam Railway have a very good working relationship with the ferry company themselves. Arriving at Havenstreet then, we get to see a rare sight. Our locomotive, in a manner of speaking, off the rails. And up on the trailer, you can get a closer look at her sheer size and mechanical beauty.
Anyway, tonight I'm not going to get any shots of her being unloaded, unfortunately, because of the crew of the lorry who have driven the Ivatt all the way down from Mid Norfolk have gone home, and rightly so. They've done an incredible job. Very long day. Apparently they've been up since 4:30 this morning. With that then, I hope you've enjoyed this little insight into heritage locomotive sharing and seeing our Ivatt on holiday. Thank you very much to the Isle of Wight Steam Railway for enabling me to go on this adventure, and thank you for watching. I'll see you again very soon.